requests. That's not that type of show.
It's doomed. We thought we were gonna have some nice team balance. Just gonna be mono bug. Ladies and gentlemen of the
it's gonna be all bugs.
Ladies and gentlemen of the gallery, let me tell you something. One, we're technologically inept, and that's why we're late. Two, even though we're ready to start now, Octavius either can't find headsets or God knows what's happening to the old man. Yes, Ty, please start your recording when the fearless leader can't find a headset. Somebody should here. Where I am going to go ping him to just like watch from his phone or something.
Octavius needs to fucking get his act together. I swear to God. What is he doing?
I mean, like, he could literally just plug some AirPods or whatever into his phone. He only needs to watch since he's not piloting.
Yeah.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes. Thank God.
Freaking crap.
All right. I'm starting now. I don't care. What the fuck was?
It's so scuffed, bro. I can't breathe.
You know what? Hold on.
A nice, relaxing Friday evening with everyone.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have an ulcer from this. Is there something else we can use? Just like a regular screen sharing type of thing? Because this is a mess.
I mean, okay, so you couldn't get it open at all, which is one thing. Stoa could get it open, no problem, and he just doesn't have a working version of the game.
You know what?
Wait, didn't you when Ox was getting his to work? Weren't you downloading 5.11?
Possibly.
Possibly not.
It was 5.1.1. I swear.
Squared.
I swear.
Oh, I swear.
I swear.
Holy moly.
Yes, the newest, the bug fixed version of episode 5 doesn't even open.
Is this on a Mac?
No, this is on Windows.
Yeah. Stoic's been waiting 4 years to get on Windows,
and then it doesn't even work.
Yeah.
I haven't owned a Windows computer in over 10 years. I don't know why this is happening right now.
Wait, what was the error when you opened the game though?
I didn't see it. I was so blinded with rage that I didn't pay attention to it.
So, Casper, you want to try opening it?
Yeah.
You know what? At this point, I will take anything.
Run it back up though and look at what that error was real quick while I
have to like Zai run it at some point. Holy moly.
Well, I mean, that was the immediate contingency plan, was like, all right, if this doesn't work, Zai can literally just stream it, and then he pilots this one and we pass the save around for future sessions.
Would it even be fun if Zai piloted? I mean, this dude is like the master.
Oh, that's
at this point.
He's
this is half the fun, is that I don't remember half the things that I invented.
Yeah, good point.
Oh my God.
Holy moly.
And my unzip application is acting up. I'm just unprofessional. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that.
I have a much younger voice than imagined.
Oh, do I have somebody else's save booted up?
Because this we have a stream chat in there too, and a stream chat. Wait, why is there a stream chat and on-air questions? I'm not going to be clicking through multiple channels for this.
Okay, I think it's running now. Let me see what happens.
Is it? Yeah. Damn, I saw somebody else's save open, so I gotta.
Okay.
I can see something.
All right, is it there?
Yeah, but the question is it gonna be there when you hit a new game?
So I'm not gonna mess with the settings right. I'm gonna. You know what? Hold on a second.
Oh, I thought it just X. Did it just?
No. That was me. That was me. I swear. That part was on me.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the game developed by boomers for boomers.
Oh my goodness.
You know what? I don't want to hear it.
Whose save is
I
this?
think we're on the
It's
way.
somebody who lost their shinies.
What
Let
is it?
me
Hold on.
get rid of this save.
Okay. All right.
Literally everyone is having trouble.
Excellent.
You say
Yeah,
excellent, but I
well,
want to
well,
see Dr. Hawthorne on the screen before I'm ready to say we're actually up and running.
I'm not gonna mess. I'm not gonna mess with any settings. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna press new game.
It's not gonna work. Oh, what the hell?
Behold.
Buffering,
Oh my
lads. Oh my goodness.
Dude, it's like going to the drive-in movie theater and you're all the way in the back row, so you can barely see the screen.
It's so small.
Did you guys hear that?
What?
What?
Oh, bro, that might have been the loudest like thunder crack I've heard in my life. Florida, by the way.
Really?
Florida,
I didn't hear anything. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Bless.
Well, wait, are we
Let's see if when you actually get onto the screen, if we can make this like the what's it called, the medium-sized screen.
Yeah.
Aren't we supposed to be narrating this?
we're like 45 minutes late, Bucko. We got to get into the game.
An hour? I thought we were narrating this crap. Look at this. This is where this is too scuffed. All right.
Oh, well, I mean, you shouldn't be super speed running.
Yeah, he's like speed running this crap. He didn't even put the. Oh my gosh! We didn't even get a meme name. What did you put? Aimlick's butt or something as your name?
What?
Hit F12. Hit F12. Bring the directions back on the screen.
Yeah. Stoic, buddy. How do you know everyone knows how to play the game? They might need the
my
controls.
lordy.
Look, bud. Look. I completely assume we were just speedrunning this shit. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, while you're getting this back up, like unironically, it is actually like deafening thunder outside, which is like cool that no one can hear it. But yeah, Florida's getting fucked currently, I guess.
As usual.
What else is new?
Oh yeah, sure.
The good stuff. The good stuff. Okay.
This is medium.
Well,
FYI.
Well, this is where if I was like if I'm playing, I'm narrating it, right? Like you're reading through all the stuff.
I mean,
like if a streamer or something's doing it. Well, if you don't, I will.
Okay, Casper, that thunder I heard that one.
Yeah, see, that was like one of the lower ones. It's just been like nonstop the past 2 or 3 minutes. Anyways, let's run it up,
friends. If you want to narrate, you're absolutely welcome to.
All right, I'm not going to do the buffering portion. I think we got that.
Beep boop bop buffering.
Experiencing interruptions. If your video does not resume play, please.
What was that?
Can somebody do the like the dial-up noise?
No.
What I'm talking about.
Not with my mouth.
Something else.
Dial-up Octavius, you're showing your age there, buddy.
And we.
Hello there, and congratulations on your successful application to participate.
It doesn't read fast enough.
In the Tellius Pokemon League objective. My name is Dr. Hawthorne. I represent the SCCL, Tellius' best and most trusted research company. This tutorial video, sponsored by Apollo's Cherum's Food Markets, will confirm your registration. As proud supporters of the Tellius Pokemon League, we will be providing you with the latest in SCCL Pokegear technology to assist you in your travels. But even more exciting is that you will also receive an access code to your choice of 9 council-approved Pokemon. How revolutionary.
We still don't have sound on this, do we?
No, I also turned it all the way down, just because we're talking over. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
But before we proceed,
love this theme, dude.
No, so do I.
The one that just got copyrighted?
Yeah, that's random, by the way.
Before we proceed, familiarize yourself with the in-game controls. Also, please read the pre-registration instructions provided below. If you're unable to read, please select the "To Register, Click Here" option. Game controls.
I think we're good on that because I don't even have like Alt on there. Like, I need to find a game that has Alt for speed up, and then you'd have to like reframe where all of those things are on the screen. Just forget about it.
You know what? I got it. I think we're all good. Right
then. Just change their name to Casper Fan.
What?
Ready to complete your registration for the Tellius Pokemon League objective? Well, then I hope you read the pre-registration instructions. If not, You hit F12 to bring them back onto this screen.
Okay, don't do it this time. Not just any Casper.
All right,
fan.
are we leaving? Are we taking suggestions for the name here in chat or what?
Sure. So let me know because I can't see the chat. So
Yeah.
let me know.
Run up the
Alright.
names, ladies and gents.
I see aim licks butt in there.
No, we can't do that. We can't do that. We cannot do that.
No, that's the only suggestion I'm seeing there.
Oh fuck.
Oh damn it, Boomer's TM is pretty vicious.
I'm assuming that's supposed to be Octopop. How about Greg?
Greg. Oh, you imagine looking at Perseus and you're like, "Yep, his name is Greg."
Ralph.
Oh man,
Goodness.
Dave.
Dave. I
These
like
boomer names are
that.
any of them could do.
A lot of male names in the chat here too. Holy moly. Oh, perfect.
Evita. Okay.
Oh my god.
Gregorine. I guess we just load up Greg. I think Greg's the winner. I guess.
Are we naming this Greg? Oh my god. Okay, fine.
Round
Greg
up.
it is. We're going with Greg.
See how he chooses to tell
Not this cool ass name. We're going with Greg.
This isn't Casper spelling it, so we should be able to get it. Okay, we got it.
Yeah, if it was me, it would be Grieg.
Grieg.
Excellent.
Is it I before E?
Yeah.
Greg, thank you for registering with the Starlight City Corporate Laboratories. Please don't hesitate to contact us with any questions, concerns, or follow-up information. I'm sure we'll be seeing you shortly at the SCCL, where you will receive your starter Pokemon. Until then, we wish you the best of luck.
Should starter Pokemon be capitalized there?
I have no idea.
Yeah, no clue.
Okay.
So here, instead of reading through Alana's bit here, do we want to get that first question, which was how did we come up with the using this plane transition to start the game?
That was you.
Was that a question?
Yeah, Berlin, right?
Yeah.
I think it was one that asked if he has to dip here. Yeah. So okay. So I guess we'll do the whole story. So you can start kind of going through.
Can I start going through this while we're talking about it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, everybody knows Alana's dialogue. Nobody wants to read Alana's dialogue.
Yeah. Hey, maybe after
be
episode
really
5, Alana has some
Alana-friendly
fans.
run-through.
Any Alana fans after episode 5, by the way?
Well,
anyway, story time here.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a Alana fan. The secret's out.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so starting story time, kind of just coming into the game, I had the idea of starting in a plane, because here at Pokemon Empire, we are always trying to one up the competition, and starting with a train is one thing, but how about a train that's
I think
in the sky?
Reju does a boat too, don't they? So.
Oh, I literally didn't even think of that. Yeah,
I
we just
think
picked the
they do,
superior transportation.
Does Deso do anything?
Aren't they also a boat?
Are they also?
I have no idea, to be honest. Oh yeah, it was because you start your
crash
adventure on an island. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm joking there when I say that was the motivation for the plane start. But it was a different form of transportation that games typically don't use, right? Even if you think about the canon games, you're in a moving truck or yada yada. But the original concept was that you were supposed to run into a bit of a sticky situation here on the plane right off the bat. Basically, the game would have started as it does until you get your starter, and from there, when you get approached by mercs, that would kind of quickly transition into getting back topside and seeing that a royal admin was on the plane, looking for something, who knows what. And also on the plane, as is, in the actual version, Isaiah. So they would have a bit of interaction on the plane that would lead to your plane being the one that crashes instead of the other plane. And then you kind of would have picked up on Polaris Pass, basically in the same area, because Rob the champion would have showed up, been like, hey there, Royale, can't let you sink the plane. And it would have just been a more action-packed start of the game.
We had Geo on there, didn't we?
We did.
Geoffrey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
so it would
Gio
have
was,
been
yeah, with his, like, and
Gio
he's gonna be
wanting
like
to
a
sink
whole
the plane,
fiery.
basically.
Did you just say Giovanni?
Oh, I just said Gio.
Okay. So that is the wrong mob boss.
Wrong boss.
Oh, the Rob boss. Let's go.
Yeah, but yeah, it would have just been basically a more, no pun intended, explosive start to the game.
Oh.
And the reason
How
we
are
ended
you
up
the
going.
first person to drop the pun and not me?
Oh, yours will come when we're on Polaris Pass, I'm sure. But and we steered away from that, to my chagrin, because people were like, well, we probably don't want Royale, who's they're not an evil team, because we like to operate on,
Gray
a
area.
fine line of gray in terms of morality for like all factions. So probably wouldn't be a good look having a plane hijacking be Royale's first scene, which is like 100% true. But then like still to this day, I think it would have been pretty sick. Because at that point in the game, right, you wouldn't. I mean, I guess some players would be like, oh, well, these guys are clearly the evil guys, so they're doing a plane hijacking. But since you are just coming back to the region, in the aftermath of a war, you could just
So you
think
wanna
that
grab
it
that
is not a
Oranberry?
norm, but kind of like highlighting the.
To the right.
What's up?
Atagora. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm just making sure we don't get game overed within the first 15 minutes here. Sorry.
Yeah, that would be a bad look. But yeah, it would kind of just show early on the council's not inability, but as you've seen through the first 4 episodes, right, where on the frontiers they're a lot less active than they are closer to the center of the region. So it would kind of just be like, oh, like even though this council is the guys in charge who Alana was just talking about, it looks like the farther you are from the heart of the region, Royale and other factions operate more heavily. So yeah, that's the origin story for that.
I don't remember what made us shift to 2 planes though. The 2 planes, 1 crash.
Oh, it was
now I'm dating myself with references.
It was Nye. Whose name I guess we should switch
one.
to. Yeah. Who will be Trader 1 going forward in all future streams. But it was her who pitched like the counterclaim to the way I had it, and then you guys were kind of on board. And then like even I, like I just said, like I agree that it's probably overall a better introduction, because we kind of get our action segments in episode 1 from mystery, right? It's the mystery of the plane crash and of everything Elise is talking about, and we see origin all over Polaris, which is a frontier town. So you're like, well, why is Big Corp out here? Yada yada. Anyways, let's get our starter and get off the plane before we keep going into story time. So I think
I know these guys are already posting what starter they want to see. It has been predetermined by us, I guess, that we are going with. Well, you know which one, right? No.
Listen,
bad,
Bucko, we're not tier whores around these parts.
So immediately,
I'm gonna be honest.
Ooh, poison type.
I'm gonna be honest. I forget which one it is.
It should be the one right in the middle, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
there he is.
And he will be Greg with 2 G's.
I'm not running this thing without Magic Guard.
Yeah, I was gonna say I hope you saved beforehand.
Oh God. Oh.
I saved though. I saved.
Oh, okay. You saved. Okay.
Bless.
Yeah. It was a little bit further back, but I saved.
I like the
We
suggestion
gotta...
of naming him Jeff with instead of Greg.
Jeff.
Oh my God.
It's doomed.
Jeff. It's Jeff. Jeff.
Yes.
It's the same 2 letters.
So as you're running, getting ready for this first fight, someone said that it's genderless, which is correct. I think in between 5 and 5.1 is where you did the gender ratios, right?
He luck sacked it. Look at that.
Yeah, baby.
Beautiful. I'm fine with the quiet as nature. That's not. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, I think we're good. But yeah, you did the ratio changes for 5.1, right, Oct?
Which ratio?
On the genders. Or was that 5?
Only some of them. That was just for like some of the starters, because that was part of like the social commentary where one of those people in Starlight, one of the NPCs, they were talking about the like the starter patriarchy, because they're all like 7/8 male. Whereas if you look at something like Meganium or Venusaur, you're like, okay, that looks like or Delphox, for goodness sake, like you don't expect a pair of nuts under a Delphox, you know what I mean? Like that's just you
Yikes.
don't look
Not
at
wrong.
that and it's like that's what you're expecting. It's like that looks like a female, like vast majority of the time. So and Manteats with pride. There you go. All right, now go for self-destruct. Oh my, he already blew it. Well, actually, he
I-
didn't blow it. He
I
should.
will not do such a thing. Will not.
Oh man, we're gonna have to grab those. That
This
two shot.
other.
It's so small.
He has
Okay,
a
I
two
see
shot.
ya. Nice.
Easy. Hey, ball toy,
Hell
ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen. You all sleep on this man. Or
It's
I
like
guess
the
thing.
super effective. Let's go. I don't even think Clavapus has something to super effective that's devastatingly powerful Young Goose, which we should run, by the way. Show 'em the
Oh, you
secret
know,
tech.
once we touch down on Polaris Pass and get like past the initial
Ball
3
toy
trainers
nerf
that are
incoming.
almost certainly going to kill us.
Nah,
Yeah,
we'll
so
be
Stoic, you
fine.
better not like you can't just aimlessly run around Polaris Pass or you're for sure gonna die. We gotta like pick
Of
the
course.
battles in the correct
This
order.
man, freaking Zai, is like, you are not running Young Goose. It is Iggly buff tier. Oh, this man doesn't know the secret early bird tech.
It's equally buffed here. Listen, here
Alright,
we are
before
going
you
to
do anything crazy with Alana, I love this guy's dialogue. There should be an NPC to the, I think it's 2 to the right of Alana. That if you talk to him multiple times,
This guy right here.
is it that one? It might be. It's either that. It might be the
Isn't it
Is it the
one of the ones
cop?
on the in the like southern row that gives you
Oh, never mind. That he just
items?
had his family murdered or something, or is like they don't know.
Ah,
that
I'm
he's
ah,
almost
family or something.
positive it's on the
No,
yeah,
it's
on
the
bottom here
cop right
somewhere.
in front of you, like up
This
top
guy here?
next to Alana. Oh my god.
This
The other
cop
cop.
right here.
That cop. Okay, click. Talk to him again. No. I could have sworn there's some kind
Bro,
of.
it's one of the people on the bottom. Like it's in the first 2 or 3
Somebody
rows.
gives you items. I
Oh,
made
it's-
this game. I know there's items in here somewhere.
I got a heal ball.
Was there? Where did I stow these things? I could have sworn.
Have you talked to the people in the front on the bottom side?
This guy right here.
Well, like,
Maybe I changed
that person
it.
or
Oh,
the
this guy got a job
second or
with
third
Orange.
row.
Dude, this guy's hyping up your company, man. In
Oh,
case you
yeah.
don't know, Stoic is what do they say? A stan? An origin stan? That's the
I
good
was gonna
stuff
say
there.
he's the
my
There should be one in the
architect of
recycling bin.
Origin, but
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure I
My
changed
baby.
one for the recycling bin. Oh,
Yeah, well,
that's
I mean,
it
we know when we
used to
go
be-
to the
Okay, it used to be that in the that cop there that I said to talk to, he would actually turn into a woman if you talk to him multiple times, and she'd be like, "Wait, who are you? Who am I? How did I get here?" And then
Yep.
she'd give you a couple of potions. I must
Odd.
have changed that because nobody yeah, odd because nobody found that.
Always watch your hands.
Does anybody actually know how plane toilets work?
They just drop that shit right out of the plane.
If there's an episode title, that would be
Oh,
it.
we have the Tobias lure that we can give now from Berlin. Love the questions. So King Tobias, the infamous one. We used to just have a dude. I mean, it's not a
Jeff could
super
give you
interesting
orange
story. But yeah, we just used to have a dude in here named Tobias, and we memed like, "What if you were the king?" And there you go.
Yeah, because we didn't have like we kind of just draw names from hats for a lot of these. Like occasionally we'll have a reference to something. I'm sure some of us don't even know what these references are. Like I think didn't you? Wait, did you just use an Oranberry? You have a sweetheart in your bag that you could have used to heal it.
Yeah. Somebody question mark Ping Stoic.
Yeah, that thing right
Um,
there, 10 HP. Oh,
I had no
imagine
idea
that.
what that was for.
Is youngster Toby the first? Is he the first or the second trainer on Polaris Pass?
I
Like
think he's the
second,
first one.
think.
Did you get you got the lava cookie
Yeah.
from the guy there? Yeah, great.
Yes,
I think
did.
so.
Did we
guy.
get everything?
Yes.
Because we'll probably need everything. Okay. But yeah, we usually draw names from hats. I'm pretty sure you have like some kind of like dead ancestors as names on the Illyrian cemetery stoic. I could be
Maybe.
mistaken on that one.
Yeah. But yeah, for a little bit of like
It's
a
possible.
dichotomy of man, we have Tobias
Yeah.
being
You
the
can F8
last
like,
king of
go ahead.
Tellius, and then we
Yeah.
have youngster Toby on Route 1, the weakest trainer in the game.
Is he the weakest trainer? I think he's the weakest trainer.
Well, I mean, I
That's
guess if you
probably-
pick any starter besides Cottony.
Yeah, that's fair. You can leech seed and mega drain pretty much everything to death, though.
Yeah, I think it's
How
not
many
working.
Attack on Titan references do we have? Because we have the random, deity or whomever that is that was trying to watch the intro of Attack on Titan when you get dragged into purgatory. But
I think like two or three in the first episode. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even know what are the other ones.
I can't think of them off the top of my head either, but I'm pretty sure there's a second one somewhere in episode 1. Let's see if I miss any questions here.
There was one earlier.
Oh, on this Casper
one a
fan, by
field
the way,
effect?
great quality name. I'm sure you're a high character guy. The idea of the grabber in the toilet. So
Be a min revive down there.
do we want to talk about the conversation we had with the envoys once about having, if you like wash your hand at like insert
The guy in
number of
green.
sinks
Oh,
or
okay.
use insert number of toilets, that you get a like a black sludge or some other equivalent?
Yeah, it was Otto that was doing that.
Yeah.
He was making a counter, and then
We've
you
had
get
a couple,
brown sludge if you got all of them. What a maniac!
Well, I mean, it surely couldn't be everyone. You would just have to put it at like gone to 100 unique. Well, I mean, 100 might be too little at this point, right? Because Starlight probably has a shit ton.
Unique toilets.
Unintended. Actually, I don't think any of those apartments have toilets.
Hey.
They're small. So, yeah, funny thing about Polaris Pass there, this was one of 2 cases. I don't know if you guys probably didn't notice this, but that little like tunnel thing that you just come out of there was actually, I actually had to change that. We were accidentally using private tiles for those, the old Origin Emporium,
Yeah.
and the old
Yeah, that one
church.
I knew about.
Yeah, those were all from the same set. We had no idea that they were private tiles, but the user or the owner reached out to us, and I think it was probably after Voltzi's video. It was like,
Yep.
where'd you get these? And I'm like, dude, I don't, I have no idea. We had like we keep most of our stuff cataloged, but that was one of only 2 cases where we ever accidentally used somebody's tiles that were privatized. So we found, fortunately, some really nice ones there. Like the new church building is also really, really nice.
Yeah, it's super dope.
Yeah, it's really happy about that. The other one was actually, if you guys remember when Green was with us in the dev Discord, where it was Boreaptor, where I had used a base from somebody who was using one of Involuntary Twitch's sprites, which was just like unbelievable. Like, oh my god, that would have been so awkward. And
Yep.
apparently, because he's apparently like a really popular, sprite artist or pixel artist on DeviantArt, and I was using one of his private sprites as a base. I had no idea because it was from somebody else who was posting it on their page, which was unfortunate. But fortunately, we haven't had many of those types of things happen. I'm pretty sure there's a really weak trainer up there, Stoic, with a few like fish Pokemon.
Yeah,
there's no way you'd ever lose to him.
Yeah.
No way.
Liar.
Are you trying to bait him into getting blown up by the Goldeen?
Hey, there's a bait pun right there. Let's go. I think there's an item in that little stump, isn't there,
Yeah.
back there?
100%
Did he heal?
there is. Oh, if you didn't heal, we're about to see some AOT references.
He might be okay. He still has 19 health. This is super effective. He can always self-destruct. Get that chip in. Did that one shot? You guys are like, oh my gosh, this thing is so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Berlin, that was Oct. Anytime
My
there's
shaft.
like 4th wall breaks, it's usually Oct.
There used to be more, but you guys, you whined. Too many wall breaks. This game isn't serious enough. Gotta keep things. No, but there's a good point to that too. I think wall breaks are funny, but if you do them too much, it can kind of.
Yeah, I do. Like, I think OG release Ep1 did have like every 3rd trainer was a wall break. So having more. See, but I mean, it's kind of a fine line in development, right? Because like the initial critique was too much 4th wall breaks, and then now the classic one we get is dialogue is too long.
Yeah, and that's not gonna change really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we even mock people for like in Starlight in the last, and there's somebody who's like, you're probably wishing, or you're probably wanting to just mash X through this to see if there's an item at the end. That guy has a Yachi berry, I think.
I mean,
That
we
guy
have
right
like the classic trainer here in Ep 1, right? The chick that is chasing you out of her home, and she's like, "Were you
That guy
expecting
there,
me
yeah.
to be a quest giver or something like that?"
Yes, classic. Yeah, people used to be really mean in and around Polaris. We had to soften them up. Like the people with the woodcutting brothers outside, those used to be mean people. Now they're like nice people.
Yeah, those guys were aggressive.
Well, I mean, but in typical Empire parody fashion, we made them like super nice now.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it was mostly just a kind of contrarian effort on our part, like with most things, where it's, oh, everybody's always so nice in your first route and all that crap, and then you have to we have to do things a little bit differently, so we
Yeah.
made people a little mean.
And
Do we want to?
go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, and then because I remember the person who gave us his critique, and he had really good points. But like the principle of why it was that way originally is the fact that you are in a frontier town where it's a very tight knit community, almost more so than Illyria in some ways, right? Because the war didn't really touch this place in meaningful ways. So they are kind of just like you got people who are miners or they are some kind of ranger.
Oh God.
It's a lot of either the tech people if they came with Origin, or it's a lot of like hardworking, like not old fashioned, but just people who do things a certain way. Like almost think of it as I don't know, like a mining town, a coal town from ye back when. So if you are not from there, it is reasonable to assume that you are not going to get hospitality because it's not the southern hospitality of Illyria. It's if you were to go to like I don't know, Tibet or something and expected people to just let you walk into their home and take their shit.
Yeah, especially when you're in this, you're dragging mud and snow across their like carpeted floor.
Probably none too pleased.
Also, somehow you're not completely dying or getting frozen solid so far. Let's change that.
It's because I'm a god.
Like
well, it was a good
god.
nice though. I anticipate a freeze
I think
here.
He's an Oranberry, doesn't he? Yeah.
Oh, hey, Stoic, a top tier trainer.
Yeah.
We should grab the bug event with my homeboys.
Yes.
Man,
Yes,
that one was so funny. I've been waiting so long to
finish it off.
Yeah, have like a it's over.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. I hope you're a fan of ALT reference.
Gone. Oh, it's beautiful. It didn't take long. F.
Fuck off.
Well, hey. Yeah, do we want? Yeah, let's go catch some shit, right? Get an event.
And he lost to the fairy type.
Oh.
Go grab. It's on the computer. Oh, you animal.
Oh, did he not zip through it? Oh, you were
caught. He got
apprehended.
Caught. She's been doing calisthenics in the morning. Which one is is that the bug house there? That should be it, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you can talk to either of them. Yeah, nobody talks to Timmy. You want to narrate this one, Sto? That's a good one.
Sure.
Casper, I'm going to take a leak. Make sure he takes Shelmet because
Roger.
Is Chad?
No.
Don't take that Virgin Carablast. We are taking Chad Shelmet. We are using Withdraw.
Do we want to leave it up to the people while you're gone?
Station in Mega Drain, and we're going to sit on people and stall them.
Because if stall is the plan, we might have to leave it up to the people.
Oh my god! You know what? Yes, leave it up to the people.
Yeah, us a total coming from trashing true democracies in the last episode to, hey, let's just make it a true democracy here.
I mean, only because you invoked the name of Saul. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a difference in philosophy around here. There are some of us.
I'm gonna take a leak. I'm gonna assume the true philosophers rise up and go with Chad Shelmet here by the time I get back.
Okay, you know what? I like Ace's plan. Take Carablast, but name it Shelmet.
I like it. I'm in. But yeah, so some of us choose to go into battles, and either we win or we lose in about 60 seconds. And others of us prefer to solidify the win, but turn that 1-minute Pokemon battle into a 30-minute Pokemon battle. I am not one of those people, you see.
Yeah, that's all Diaper's stuff. That's his thing.
Oh yeah, Diaper was a big benefactor of Stall back in our
Oh
leagues.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait, I see type. Okay, yeah, looks like we're going Carablast and naming it Shelmet. I think that's the wave.
All right, you know what? We'll do it.
Did we have the heel turn from the other to win?
What?
It's
Oh my
coming,
God,
I'm pretty
let's-
sure. Yeah, and the people have decided on Carablast, but we're naming it Shelmet, so you can.
This is trash. Everything is wrong. Oh man. For next time, all you have to do is use reverse psychology. So whichever one you want, you say the other one, so that
Yeah, that is how
everybody
chat
who wants-
operates.
everybody who wants the chaos and anarchy can just fall into the outplay.
I mean, what's the chance we use either of these for Elise? Anyways, I mean, like they're definitely both usable, but I guess kind of depends how much like underrated
You
stuff we
stupid
want to
face, you
showcase.
just gave away your only Pokemon.
Get wrecked. Get wrecked. Now I have your
Beautiful.
Pokemon, bitch.
See, that's the thing. Like kids nowadays are probably using like all the profanities. They're not even using
Yeah, Dumbo.
kid sounding insults like that.
Watch your profanity.
I think of all the trainers, these woodcutting brothers should like they were the meanest before, and they are the ones that like of all the changes, they probably should have stayed mean. I mean, if you live your life cutting wood in sub 30-degree temperature, you're probably not happy very often.
There's the guy from Florida.
Hey man,
Cold, dude. I love how we literally transposed that onto like, Rob Caspier in game, where it's like I do not understand how you people stay in the cold all the time like this. It's tough.
Even though,
Okay, we got to go pick up that C dot. Actually,
what's
we got to use that for Casper's homeboy Nuzleaf from the OG runs.
yeah.
which one is that?
It's in the
It's in
garden
the
right there.
patches
You
over
just have
there,
to
yeah.
step on it. You have to also, catch it. So we'll have to see your dank trainer skills here.
I'm all about.
Yeah,
I'm all
but,
about
so I
the
think the
dangness.
thing is, a lot of grass types used to have leech seed, right? And then you kind of
I
removed
think
it from
most of them
everything
did.
except the
Yeah.
stallers, basically, or not the stallers, but like the utility types.
Yeah, and that's one of the design premises with like the grass types, for example, in this game. A lot of moves and just types of moves you can categorize. So with grasses, you have moves like Vine Snare and Power Whip, which fall into like a Tangrowth or Tangela type of style. Then you have like the leaf moves like Leafage and Leaf Tornado, Leaf Storm, and those fall into another category. And then you have the seed moves like Bullet Seed and Worry Seed and Seed Bomb. And then you just kind of take those categories and latch them onto whatever mon they fit the best. And what's weird about this line in particular is Seedot, Nuzleaf, and Shiftry are pretty much all completely different Pokemon. So it's
Pretty
really
much.
difficult to try and make sense of the move sets when they're all so vastly different. Like Seedot is so different from the other two specifically that their level up sets are just going to look really different. Like there's no way Seedot would ever use a move like Sucker Punch, for example. But Seedot like having Harden and stuff doesn't make as much sense on Nuzleaf. So it's really kind of a weird balancing act there. But Nuzleaf's really cool. I love the prankster nature power, among other things.
We got a name for this one, ladies and
All
gents.
right, what's C-Dot's name?
Anyone in the chat have you Beyblade?
Beyblade?
Has anyone in chat used Shiftry and Ep5?
Oh, I guess it is available, isn't it?
All it's Showmit. Everything is just Showmit.
I like the Beyblade, but I don't. It doesn't
It doesn't
fit.
really stick in the future. I know Otto used Shiftry, and he's not here. He might be. I feel like him and somebody else used it in testing, but it's good. I think the thing is though, everyone's been waiting to use Eggy since Rose was beating the shit out of people with it. So the second it became available, that's where people turned.
We can talk about that more when we get there. I'll save
stories how Eggy used to be.
Oh boy.
My god.
Just how episode 2 used to be in general. You guys thought episode 1 was hard.
I wonder if there's a word that's worse than cancer.
We started with Trevenant being like 10 levels higher than it currently. Dropped it by 5 and by another 5, I believe.
Yeah. Was it 35 at one point? What is it now? Is it 28 or 30 now?
I want to say 28, but I haven't played through from the beginning since episode 3.
We're saying 28.
28, yeah.
You go ahead and go with whatever you want there for the nickname, Stoic, unless you went and went to the bathroom yourself.
You know what? I'd say if I was gonna keep it C-Dot, I'd go with Beyblade, but I actually like Robin Hood.
All right.
At least for what's gonna become.
My favorite nickname, maybe of all time, is Decidueye and calling it Artemis Fowl.
Oh my god.
Which is so brilliant. So it's an archer like Artemis, which is an archer god, Fowl because it's a bird, and then Artemis Fowl, which is its own thing. It's like, it's like a triple pun. Just want to like lean back and.
If only all of your puns are that quality,
I'm gonna keep this PG.
Oh, this is kind of gross.
Oh yeah, we didn't even look at their stat. Holy
this one's not seeing that much use.
Wait, go back to that Spatak real quick. This is perfect if it's a Spatacker. Can this thing run special?
Wait. Can Shiftry run special? Can Shiftry run special? I forget.
I'm pretty sure it's like almost all physical with like fake out and sucker.
Wait, we're getting word from Angel. 100 special attack.
Yeah, with Shiftry. Shiftry's fine, but if you think we're gonna keep keeping this thing. This is this is our Rose revenge or Elise revenge killer right here. If sucker punches aren't gonna deal any damage.
It's we might have to just have 5 underrated mons and then throw a Pikachu or something in for the hard carry.
Oh my god. This is
wait, isn't there a second?
When was the last time you saved, homie?
Second C-Dot? What the? Is there?
Oh yeah, there's a second C-Dot
in town, right?
Oh, we're fine. Okay, we're fine.
Yeah, we'll just save before the next one.
Just don't slap the EXP share on this piece of trash. We wasted a Pokeball. It happens.
Oh yeah, now they're gonna see us struggle with the economy of this game early on.
I believe what you mentioned today was that Stoic is going to be struggling with the economy.
Yeah.
If I'm running this, min max, it's gonna.
I mean, we're probably not using any of the big money mons anyways, right? So it's not like we're gonna have to drop 10 or 15 on Meltan and
I think you're probably gonna need to. I don't know if it has a Spadef boost right there. Magnitude, or you just could. I mean, you can blow up too when we get to that point. Does this thing have I'm sure Zai knows if this thing has an ice attack on it. Didn't use it though.
I mean, we probably just.
I'm sure he does.
Sand. I was gonna say we should probably just chip it out and then explode, right?
With the competitive Casper and I with like the competitive okay, if we get enough chip on it, then we can stick this.
Meanwhile, Sand
set up
Attack
the sweep. Yeah, Stoic on the other hand. Guys, let's use Sand Attack.
Hey.
Wait, how many times did you use that?
Twice.
You got PP on these moves, man. Okay. This is a clean 4-hit KO. Look at the Stoic strategy. Oh my goodness, this man is a 5-head plays.
Yeah. The king of the casual gameplay.
Only 4D chess with these.
So moves. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't think that our game would end up having such a min-max community.
Really? I would have expected
Yeah.
that, as based on
Well,
how like fine-tuned everything is. Okay, Casper, you got to narrate. This is you.
hell
This
no,
is
dude.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him the voice.
Yeah. Well,
Do
are you
it.
guys hearing my voice right now?
Yeah, I like how we have like a nice little octave, literally, uh, where it's Casper with a high timbre, me with a medium, and then Stoic with a low.
Yeah.
We
I mean,
just need
was it
somebody else
Angel
when you have
who
a
said?
barber shop,
Yeah.
like
You
Quartet.
you can just start going through this though, because I'm not reading. But I think Angel's the one who said that you sound younger. And realistically, I don't think that's it. I just think no one thought Stoic would sound the way he does.
Oh, I know. Like if you put Stoic next to anyone, it's like I'm Stoic. Like, how are you guys doing?
Casper fan, buddy.
You know what?
If you
I
can
don't think
hear
I
my
sound like
voice,
that.
it doesn't get much higher than this. It's already pretty bad.
All right.
All right, we finally have everyone now. Okay, good. Now then, this is a full report, so save your questions till the end. Got it? Okay. So, if you aren't aware yet, that was a refugee plane headed for Meridiana that crashed into Polaris Mountain. Council had intel on Yawaki mercs that have been shadowing planes bringing supplies and refugees back into Dude, these like line breaks are gonna slaughter me here. We had reason to believe this particular plane was being targeted, and well, it was. Like I was in front of Isaiah when he says that. By the time I got up there, the plane was already in a critical state. So my Mewtwo and I, this is where everybody goes, this man has a Mewtwo? Teleported as many of the crew and passengers as we could to ground level. My team is currently processing the survivors at the train station. Until that's done, a lockdown will be in effect. Oh boy, timely. Nice COVID lockdown in effect. Nothing serious, just a safety precaution. But no one goes in or out of the train station until we make sure the civilians and this is where everybody's like, man, Rob's such a dick, I courageously rescued, are all safe and all that. Oh, well, again, throwing off my narration here with the line breaks. As for the crash site itself, I trust your team is already in place, Ezekiel? Yes, sir. I have 2 teams stationed, like you said. All right, then. Why don't you head down to the train station and join the rest of... I'm like giving him like a Seto Kaiba voice here. Of my team. Now draw your last pathetic card.
The rules, Yugi. I have money.
Oh man.
Speaking of which... Isaiah, why aren't you already down at the train station? I need all hands on deck. Didn't I have you like totally like lamb-based Isaiah in the first iteration
Yeah,
of this?
he
And you're
used to
just
get
like,
he used to get chewed out real bad.
yeah. I don't remember why that was the case though, because you're like these two are bros. So I don't
Yeah,
know,
well,
but
I mean,
that's also like a familiarity thing. When you're bros with people, you can kind of chew them out, and then they're like they come back fine. Anyways, Isaiah, but sir, I need to deliver my report to the council. Zan expressly stated we were to. Council isn't here, brother. So, as I said, Isaiah, that's an order. You're dismissed. Uh, fine.
Bitch.
Hey, don't make fun of him because he has receding hairline. All right, you too, Ezekiel. Get down to the train station. Why doesn't he turn around there? God, man, this
Because he
game
doesn't
is
have
so
to.
scuffed.
He
he
commands.
doesn't even sensible or logical information is, and utilize that. Did we get the Iggly buff yet? Are we going for the Shuppet? Just like what is it? Or do we have enough moves to take out the Shedinja so we can grab the?
Trying to go to the
Lick.
what's it called? I'm trying to get the Voltorb.
Do we even have? You've been losing every battle. I don't think you have any money.
I have $1,000.
Accidentally
I
connected
was about
from
to say we
someplace
might have
else,
to
so
start
we're
committing
missing
theft,
probably
ladies
like
and
20
gentlemen. I
minutes of
typically
footage.
don't do it in my
Whoops.
playthroughs, but we might need it here.
Well, we can't even get into the freaking Explorers Guild for the big. Where are you even going? Oh my! This is beautiful.
The secret ingredient is crime.
Holy moly!
Volturb or weapon shop, isn't that
Yeah,
left
talk
side
to Riddle
top?
Kid. Did we already talk to Riddle Kid?
No.
Okay. Let me go grab Igglybuff from the mine. It's in the second part of the mine there, and then back to Polaris Pass. You know where these things are, right, Casper?
Yeah, where the
Yeah, Igglybuff and the and the Shuppet.
mine Stuffle is back, like on the other part.
I don't think we're using
Polaris.
Stuffle. That's a pretty powerful.
Well, we gotta catch it first, right? Isn't Shuppet the last one?
I thought Shuppet was the second. I think it used to be the last one, and I changed it because I'm like, oh wait, Stuffle's actually OP.
Yeah,
Where
there we go.
Shuppet's still good, but it's not like.
Yeah,
I mean,
Angel
Beware by episode 3 is actually like
super strong. Yeah, I just
It-
remember
it's
when it was
comically
Shuppet last.
strong.
Should I go find it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
just
Alright,
speed run to all 3 parts. Of
Yeah, speed run Lamau.
Alright.
Yeah, speed running our way back to every Pokemon.
Stoic, you can talk to the guy next to the rail. Please.
How is this possible?
You're gonna get smoked. Okay, well maybe you won't get smoked.
Holy crap! No, he has like a level 10 seal or something in the back.
All right, well, Stoic,
Oh
thanks
my
for losing us more
God.
money.
Oh, this is.
Gonna be
Angel
okay.
makes a
It's
good
gonna
point
be-
too.
That's gonna be
Continuously losing
A-
to fairy types.
anything.
Gonna
Holy
be
crap.
okay.
Anyways, to answer Vetrix's question, while you guys enjoy,
High quality
Stoic's
gameplay.
high quality.
Honestly, we might
Beat
just
me
need to
to
give you the
it.
free reset now, to be honest.
Oh my god.
Gonna be
Okay.
okay.
All right. So, as far as taking everything knows that is Pokemon and then making people question it, yes, to some extent, right? Because we don't want Empire to be a game that just follows the exact same rubric. Like there are things that we don't necessarily think you should just remove for the sake of removing them for that, like just because you can or you want to. Like I think there are some common structures, like the Pokemon centers, or well, we don't call them gyms in Empire. They're just the league leaders because you don't fight them in actual gyms. We actually kind of mock that as something that other games do poorly. Actually, that's probably a really good example of it, where you have something like gyms in other games where it's like, how does this actually quantifiably make any sense? Where you just have these Goombas sitting around in these little like buildings all day, just waiting for people to come in and like challenge them. So we're making it part of like a government system, right? Where you have like the gym, as conventional gyms as league leaders, so they're kind of like provincial, government officials instead. And then as you do work for them, right? So you do like work for the good of the region, so to speak. And then they test you on your weapons usage, basically, which are Pokemon in this instance. And then after you beat them, then you're qualified to use more powerful weaponry, which to some extent makes sense. And of course, if you break everything down far enough, none of this makes logical sense. But we're not deconstructionists here. We're just trying to make things more optimized from a logical perspective, and just tying it into the lore and world building, where in like a conventional game, you have a gym. It's like, okay, well, why? Like, why does this exist? In Empire, you can actually answer that question. And you can look at that with Pokemon centers or anything else where, hey, this is what universal healthcare looks like. Pay for it, right? Like you still have, like, there's still money that's being involved in this process. It's either coming from your taxes or in this case, out of pocket. So there are, just different tweaks that we take to something that, like Pokemon, which doesn't always make a lot of sense. And we're trying to make sense of it. In fact, one of the things that we wanted to talk about in episode 5 was the whole, like, how do wild Pokemon versus Pokemon captured in balls work? I forget the what was the term that we had for that, like the grid, like there's a Tellian grid, and then like some people can operate off the grid, and that's how you can have like people die to like Joffrey's fire blast, so to speak. But there's things like that which we'll try and do our best to explain in future episodes. But that's the general answer to that question. Is yeah, we do try and make people question everything, but we do it in a way that we think just makes logical sense or optimizes systems that weren't really based on any sort of foundation. So we create a world building foundation off of which, yes, so it got smeared. No surprise there. So we make a strong foundation for it, and then we build off of it. Is that fair? Perfect.
Think you
Yeah,
killed
thank
that.
you.
And then
Great.
Vetrix has a question, and then he has to bounce. Which was, what is everyone's favorite field? And with episode 5 out, I think mine is now. Damn, I mean, it could be any. Well, so
Which
I
one was
like.
it you actually cut for a second there? At least for me.
Oh, testing.
No, you're good. I mean, it was just when you actually said what it was. I didn't hear what it was.
Oh yeah, well I'm thinking it's like episode 5 fields for sure. Like combined are my favorite. I think to think of which. So the laboratory field, which I think a lot of people don't like, is like to me one of the most interesting fields. Because of how it not forces you, but like you are heavily rewarded for using things that compromise. And just like the idea of introducing not a meta, right? Because we have different field effects, but like you might have this team that you used for the Starless Streets or whatever that field is called, and indoor battles or whatever, and then you might have a second team that you use that's heavily uncompromised for Primordial Pike and the lab fights.
Mm.
And like that sort of stuff is just like kind of what Empire is like actual combat mechanics is based on, like the idea of like we have all of these things that can answer the puzzle or
Toilet.
be your solution in different ways, and you kind of just get to pick almost whatever you want, because even if the thing you really want to use isn't good for this field, it's probably good for that field.
That's fair. I'm surprised you said laboratory though, because you usually like HO. Which I guess there are still mons that you can use on that field that can ignore
Yeah.
the
Well, I mean,
damage
it's the fact
fluctuation.
that it like, so I was running HO, right, and it made me. Well, I didn't like for the Alana fight. Like the
Oh,
first time, I
yeah,
felt like
that's
I was
true.
being stalled to oblivion, and then I just switched to a team that's heavy on compromise, and I blasted her away. So like even us who know how a lot of things are going to work in advance, still got to be like, oh, like I really
Right.
could have a much more efficient team here if I switch
Optimized,
these
yeah.
3 members. Yeah.
No, that's actually that makes sense then, based on your point. We could also
We
use
have
Rufflet, which is very.
So yeah, what
I don't
about
know
you?
if we have enough money for Bird's Teeth.
What's your favorite field? Because we got some Field of Cinders here. We have.
Oh dear God, there's like 45 new messages. Lab Field of Cinders are my favorite there from Zai. Field of Cinders from Water. Please don't insult toilets like this. We go get Grimer from the toilet up in the one place.
That's true.
Favorite field is open field. Yeah, remember when I first presented the open field where it's like that's such a good. I don't know if I have man. How do you pick a favorite? Probably gonna forget one. Shoot, man.
Ice Rink was a classic for me until probably episode 3 where it got
Yeah.
dethroned.
By the way, just as on the actual watching Stoic struggle here, that little like all these sections are optimized where if you just walk in definitively straight lines as far as you can walk and then turn, you'll never touch grass. So Stoic hitting a wild encounter there was actually purely on the player, not the designer, just to cover my own butt there. Which I'm sure you wanted to encounter that Stoic, but that was.
Oh wait, Stoic, are you looking for a stuff pool now?
Oh, looking for that
There's
right there.
Yeah, there it is. Dude, that thing is moving.
Zoom.
Holy. You just take it. Sweet. Okay. We got a squad now. Will it help? Probably not, but at least we
No.
can like get some
Ooh.
EXP on them in the
Another
tavern.
question from Vetrix, which I think I answered this to Angel during beta testing. Where do the quotes for the fields come from? Most of the time, Oct literally just types it in on Google. Like for the Starlight ones, it was like city quotes, Starlight quotes.
I get most of these from good quotes.
Yeah.
.com, which if you just type in like any type of word like starlight quotes or like industrial quotes or anything like that, one of the things you'll see is like in a Google search will be like goodquotes.com, and then you can just scroll through and find some good stuff. Even that's where some of the like the stuff in German comes from too. Like there are a couple ones where you have like Germanic quotes in there too, or like a different language, which is maybe a little bit more or like world building breaking sort of thing. But I digress.
Ooh, Festival Field was also superb. I don't think I ever had abuses for it in Calvera though, because I always like, to me, episode 5 is king of this, but episode 2 is that episode where you feel strong as hell as the player because of all the things that evolve at level 24, 25. So
basically after North, right? Because you feel like a pile of poo.
Yeah, I mean, for Trevenant and North, you're just getting beaten down.
And the Vespiquen trainer, of course.
Yeah, and then you just get strong as fuck. And then basically from that point on, it always feels like that, right? Because episode 3, like if you run into that Mudsdale trainer and Atria early, you just get smoked. But then once you get to the end of the episode, once again, you have those things at 29 and 30, and you feel swole. Episode 4, while there were things that evolved right at the end of Cap, I once again felt like, okay, maybe I do need to think more about the field because my team can't just BST everything down by having great stats. But then, I mean, Ep5 is just like I don't think Ep5 is poorly balanced combat encounter wise. Because for me, it's the episode where just the normal trainers out in the open world are like the most difficult to deal with. But like that Cap, man, Excavalier, Eggy, whatever you get from basically Thunderstone or Leafstone event, like you feel great in Ep5 with your teams.
I'm stupid.
Yeah, we just saw Stoic forget that Buizel is part normal in this game.
You can shove it.
We just got splashed water on us, which freezes us on this field.
Vetrix, please, guys, don't add a field that makes things go back to Gen 1 mechanics. Don't worry, we are not like some games that don't have original
Wasn't there a game that did that?
I know Reborn did.
Yeah.
I know Reborn did. Because that was where you fight like that ground leader with the rainbow hair.
I was trying to poke fun at it. Like, see, Angel's got an awkward cough without saying it. Yeah, unoriginal. Cough, cough. But I mean, I think the closest thing we have to like shenanigans like that is Pillars of Law, right? Like flipping
God, let's not start the hate train for the Pillars.
Wait, is there hate from the players? You guys aren't rocking with Pillars of Law?
Some aren't.
I remember when you guys were like, so how are you going to make a rock type leader challenging? And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm going to give him an Aerodactyl. And you're like, okay, that's good. Like, and then I'm going to give him a Regirock. And you're like, what the fuck? Oh, what?
I mean, and then once you said that it was going to be this, like, once you said, jungle and, all right. I mean, this is, because, okay, so the way, trying to keep my criticism into, constructive feedback. So everyone knows, like, the Reborn fight against Shelly, right? And the way that fight makes bugs not bad is by having it start off with rain, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So and then there's
which
Flo, whatever
also
her name
does
is
with their bug.
Yeah, so like the idea of covering your type by using weather by itself kind of played out. So like, what did we do? Well, for one, every league leader has a wild card mon that is complementary to their team and somewhat covers their weekends or weaknesses. Two, we still have in our like list of gym leaders, everyone does have a weather, including Smog, our newest addition to that. But yeah, then we get into the thing of because like, wait, is Stoic throwing again?
I was just saying maybe go to the tavern before
Have we not fought the trainers in the tavern?
I don't think. think so.
All right, yeah,
Have
go
we?
kick their
I
asses and
fought
grab the
one.
Grimer.
Yeah, I fought one.
Yeah, the Semaphore guy.
Because a lot of people are kind of almost like surprised, like, oh, this trainer has a mythic, oh, this trainer has a legend. And part of that, because we had this talk too, like way back, of me saying, well, okay, certain legendaries, like the really ones, doesn't it make sense that there's only one of those in the in the universe, the setting of the game? Whereas a lot of the lower tier ones, not only does it make sense that there is multiple of them, but like in canon, I guess, if like the show, well, actually, I don't even know if the show is considered canon, or what is canon in Pokemon really, because I'm not like into things that aren't our game. But basically, like in different forms of Pokemon, you see that multiple of the same legendary exist.
Oh, right.
So don't worry, just because you see X trainer with a legendary, never get it. And two, it means that strong trainers have legendaries, because they are stronger trainers. Wait, what?
No, that's Glalie as it evolves into a steel here.
That's right. That's right.
Do we have anything to even handle ices? They're only weak to like everything on the type chart.
Yeah. So and we're hitting them with normal damage alone.
We have cutting edge. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Ooh.
Stokes
See,
on it,
you
man.
said Carablast was useless. Look at him go.
Get that shit out of here.
And
He's
gonna
only
miss this one, though. Oh, young.
several levels up.
Look at my Shelmet. Look at my Shelmet.
Look at my Shelmet. Hey, you are using a steel type move.
Why is this thing still on our team in the highest level?
He's a hard carry, of course. Wait, yeah, like who needs air on, and we just have Carablast for cutting edge, easy. But yeah, I think obviously the Rob quip right there in this episode with the Mewtwo. I think the next time you hear about a leader or someone of note having a legendary is Heinrich, right? With Landorus.
Mentioned the Lando, yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, like, while like you are playing a game where your character is, main character, protagonist, whatever you want to call it, because the entire world is alive, you aren't the only trainer who has access to these things, right? Because there's dozens and dozens of trainers who are stronger than your character throughout the game. So like, why wouldn't they have legendary and mythical Pokemon? It's like a weird thing that canon games kind of like don't go into. They just assume that this 10-year-old character you're playing is the only one that can get these Pokemon.
Yeah, and it actually is like, even speaking back to like the Rampardos thing, where it's like there aren't even like any rock normals in canon. If you look at some of these legendary mons, a lot of them have unique or really rare type combinations that you don't see a lot, and by just completely removing them from the game in their entirety, you're missing out on some of those type combos. And yeah, Angel, Isaiah with Darkrai, that is also true. What were we talking about before this? Did we have a another thing? Stoke, did you have a favorite field?
Favorite field? I'd say probably. I think mine is the one with Demetrius.
The open fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I
was
presenting that, because it was like we can make two fields here, where one is kind of like an open field cavalry charge, kind of like war. I'm thinking, you think like back to like Revolutionary War, where people just have like a firing lines and just stand there and shoot each other, sort of stuff, and then combine that with like the traditional like meadow, like farm pasture. And I think as we progressed here, we've kind of combined those pretty well. With those types of ideas. Even just like the festival is kind of a weird thing in its own way. But I'd say my favorite is probably Field of Cinders. It's kind of hard to beat. It's unique. It's got some pretty cool things that it does. Oh, there's a. Do you say Hootie or Huddy? Hoity. Hoity. I like Hoity. With a little you get a little Yiddish in there. Hoity. Are they here?
I don't think he's here. I don't think he's here. No.
Do we have our local cowboy to tell us? No, he's not. Okay, that's okay. We'll get the mystery solved next time. But in case you guys weren't aware, the Field of Cinders is based off of Dark Souls, the whole series. In fact, our original canon, and we can talk about this more when we get there. But our original thing for him, no way. Uh, our original thing for Arthur was that he was going to be a gamer, but that kind of transitioned out of that as we kind of developed the plot for episode 4. So we did manage to keep some of those different elements, and the Field of Cinder stuff, it just kind of translated really well into the direction that we wanted to go with, despite it not being necessarily related to like VR or gaming or that sort of thing in general. But I think it still worked out really well, and just having like different rolling moves, because you roll a lot in Dark Souls, and like Ember, and like Field of just the Field of Cinders. And some of the quotes are from Dark Souls in that way. But yeah, Arthur is technically this game's Dark Souls, but that's so funny too,
That's a
because that's
thing.
where you have like the first 2 like main quest, like they will literally steamer down your mouth sort of thing, where there's nothing you can do about it except for cheese, or people can beat Quinn, which was, I think we did a great job balancing that, by the way, just to pat ourselves on the back. So that is actually appropriate. I wasn't even thinking of that.
It all lines up. Yeah.
Oh,
so, like,
we
you
got
can see
Trick
some
Room.
of the.
We got
Oh,
Trick Room.
baby.
Drop your sand attack. We're done with these noob strats.
Done with the shenanigans.
Done with the noob strats. We got Trick Room in the house. We're ready to go. Let's do it. No, we keep self-destruct because we go Trick Room, and then we can just bop, and then bring something else in safe
Yeah,
with
this
Big
wave.
Chip.
Drop the sand attack.
Yeah, drop
we go
sand attack.
hard
We
on
don't.
the because we go hard on the motherfucking paint.
Yeah. But back to the Arthur thing. Yeah, it was really interesting how basically Trick got to transition like his entire narrative arc without losing anything. Because we kind of got to keep the Dark Souls themes, even though we switched him. Because ultimately, like, he's not a shut-in, but he is like the I care about my personal passions more than I care about my job sort of deal. And we just kind of went from the gaming angle to like
You
the
need to
writer
heal.
angle. And like his name, right? Arthur Cade,
Oh,
Arcade.
fine. Just get the crap off of Shelman's not holding the XP share, is he?
He is.
Oh my god!
No wonder he's swole as fuck.
Maniac stoic with his bug empire. Dude, where's like the Swadloon and the charge a bug? This is how it's gonna happen. Stoic's just gonna
Soon.
grab bug
Dude,
mono.
and I mean, to
And then
be
we're gonna
fair,
have to
bugs are
full
hella
convert-
good through rows, right? Like Charbug this episode is pretty solid.
Yeah, because those like Swadloon, or what's the first stage called? It's the little caterpillar piece of crap.
Something dot, I want to say Swaddle.
Waddle.
Yes, Waddle. Thank you, Angel.
You put
'cause those
respect
all
on
evolve
Dottler's
accordingly.
name.
Yeah.
The
We
Dottler.
ain't giving out the big Spadef hallucinate Dottlers. Those are for a little later.
Yeah.
All right. Did we have I think we had another question on air from Sandy. Why did you decide to make secondary effects of moves like Torment and Supersonic adhere to the type chart? So basically taking moves that previously didn't do damage and adding damaging effects onto them. I don't necessarily know if there was like a kind of why we did. What is the Sonic meme there? But I don't know if there's necessarily like a why necessarily to it, as much as for example, you can literally just take a move and buff it. But one of the things that we've done in terms of adding new moves and effects is kind of filling gaps. So like Eat Dirt, for example, Eat Dirt, scumbag. Eat Dirt, for example, like there isn't in canon like a low base power ground move. Like you have Magnitude, which does fixed damage, but you really don't have something that kind of fills that sort of niche. And so by adding some of these moves in, and Torment and Supersonic probably aren't like the best examples, but it also just generally buffs the moves. Like you could have Torment which doesn't deal damage, or you could have Torment which does deal damage. And for some cases, if you do want to buff something, like how do you really buff Torment? Like you could have it maybe to apply to the opposing team or something for a large set of turns. But yeah, or double slap for low base power fairy move. Great example. Although there just really aren't any physical fairy moves in canon, anyways. You can go ahead and jump up. There's more. There's one more trainer upstairs, isn't there, Stoke?
There's
And
one more,
you
yeah.
can grab. Yeah, you can grab it. I don't think we're using Grimer. I mean, we can, but that's a little bit stall.
I mean, I like grammar.
I'm sure you do.
Oh yes.
That purple milkshake up there. But yeah, it's
Absolutely.
just as a way to buff moves. That's a way to do it. Like if they don't deal damage, have them then do damage. Because in canon, Supersonic is just confuse ray with low accuracy. So by giving it damage, now it's actual viable move that you can use in the early game, and it just increases diversity. With the different things that you can do early game. Like you have stuff that uses round or echoed voice or Supersonic, depending on what you want the mon to do. So I guess
Yeah.
that'd be the.
I
Like,
think
oh,
that goes into the whole thing that we always talk, like incentivizing supportive moves and Pokemon. Because if you don't buff them, people just won't use them. Even if
the
they are
magnitude
good.
or blow up on that thing. Stoke.
Um,
I think you solo it, don't you? And well, it depends on its hidden power type, maybe.
should be
Does
fine.
it
I
have
think.
levitate?
Did it set psychic terrain when it came in?
No.
Really? Huh.
Let me check.
Let me check. Wait, did you trick Ren?
When in doubt.
No.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
good. I'm all good then. Yeah.
It's actually,
Also,
does
before we
does
get
a lot of
to
damage, doesn't it?
Vetrix's
Sideways.
question currently, every episode you guys ask for and our meme is every time you ask for move relearner, it gets moved back an episode.
We're down to like we're probably at like episode 18 by now.
Yeah. End game, get your move relearner.
Fuck.
I was more going into the fact that Supersonic won't confuse a ghost type, and you can't stop that Ursaring, for example, from spamming Moonclaw
What
with
the
Torment.
fuck was?
Yeah, sure. No, and I mean there are going to be fringe cases. Well, I guess I shouldn't necessarily say fringe because why did Ray change his name to me?
It's
What?
him, dog.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm
It was
dumb.
a joke with Salem. Okay. But he's just gonna put the experience on his Shellman, isn't he? Oh no, he's not. Okay.
Yes. Shellman superiority.
Good God. But there's people named me. But yeah, no, I mean, and that's fair, Sandy. That would be the trade-off that Ray also mentioned is that you will have then a type immunity because it's now a damaging move. But I think the pros would like vastly outweigh the cons in those circumstances because people are gonna much more commonly use Torment now that it's a damaging move as opposed to if it weren't in Empire. And there are a lot of different like embargo, for example, which you have different ways of still affecting like an opponent or an opponent's team heal block or the various vicious or grievous wounds inflicting moves that also can be used on specific mons. Already doing my Mon Dragon as well as Supersonic. Yeah, a lot of people have been doing Mono Dragons. I guess that's kind of the you see a lot of games don't have dragons even available until like halfway through the game, so that would be probably a pretty appealing thing, I would imagine.
Mono friendly for the win. Also, onto the note of like simple things we do to enhance the game, like the quips Oct uses for the field effects. Because this question hasn't come up tonight, but I know it comes up pretty often. Is like, where do the backgrounds for the field effects come from?
Oh,
Oct, do you want to handle that one too?
oh my gosh. If my other computer craps the bed, we're gonna be doomed because I use Microsoft Word. This is on like my college computer, which is 10 years old now. The thing's still kicking, but I have Microsoft Office from like 2013 or whatever installed on it, and I don't remember the name of the effect, but if you can like edit the picture on there in a certain type of way, and I actually used to do this with just for like I did it for like a project one time way back in the day, and I remembered that because it makes everything look, how the fields look there, how the backgrounds look. They're all like this kind of matte, matte palette there, where it's all, there's not a lot of shading, but it's a look. Like you can see even there with like the tavern field. So I basically just take an image from, yeah, we became artists and made them. You keep dreaming, but just literally take an image from online and then you slap it into the Word, and then you use the picture effect on it, and then you can mess with the saturation and other stuff a little bit too. Whatever you want to do to make it look a certain way. But it's basically just finding a picture. So that picture there for the tavern, for example, or any field, like a mine for the Field of Cinders, or like a mushroomy cave for the cave, or a like a park for Avant Gardens in Starlight. They're all just pictures of real life places from God knows where that we find on, or that I find on Google Images, and then just slap that. So like the battle arena it's like a UFC ring, which it should be pretty obvious. That's another debuting field effect in episode 5 there, but that's how you do it. It's really weird. I know it's just like it's such a weird thing there, Angel, with the way they look. But when I just tried it and slapped them on there for like the tundra field effect, which is probably like the first one I found a background for, I'm like, that actually looks kind of nice. So let's keep doing that. And as long as you're consistent with an art style, I think it's fine, right? So no matter which way we went with, I think we were in good shape there. All right. Do we have enough things to kill?
Should ninja.
What's his face? Yeah, I don't know if we do. We might need to just slap
I
some more
was gonna
trainers.
go try and get Lickwick too to replace.
Well, you have
You
to.
gotta
You
beat
have to.
Zeke
You have to
first,
beat
yeah.
Shedinja.
Oh fuck, that's right.
Yeah.
Do I have some to? Let me see.
I mean, there are just people around in the houses, yeah. Or even like the optional trainers back in Players Pass.
Oh yeah, true. We did kind of skip out some trainers on the pass to be beelined here. So
You
some
also
of these,
can. You can
Go
also
ahead.
maybe grab the Young Goose. You might be able to beat that Spheal. I don't know. Stoic strats though.
Yeah, I probably would take on some of the trainers we've missed thus far, and then run up for Spheal to get Goose, and from there go down and take on Zeke. And we have some questions loaded up here. But before that, yeah, just wrapping up the whole thing of like simplicity and different things that we've done that kind of didn't really require too much effort. Like, of course, it takes time to find the right picture and mess with it, and some good quips are better than others.
Are we training up that guy?
As I can.
Because we're just gonna let Stoic take this. It's the Stoic's world.
I believe
We're living in it.
But because I remember some criticism we got early on, which I found really bizarre, was like that, because we used a mix of Gen 3 and Gen 4 tiles, right? And certain people from certain places, really didn't like that, because they already used a specific way of doing the tiles. And kind of to what Ak just said, as long as you're consistent with your style, I think it's totally fine. And it's not like some areas only have Gen 3 tiles, and you go to another province and it's all Gen 4, like you're playing a different game. It's like mainly Gen 3 with a sparse usage of Gen 4. And then we have these field backs and the quips, and kind of like our own style here, which is like, I think, going under like the tent of games that have field effects probably isn't, like, I think at this point we're like outside. I mean, we've been outside of it, right? Especially with recent events. But people are quick to be like, okay, well, this game has field effects. So it is the Reborn Rejuve Desolate School. And I think from the art to the fact that combat is, I mean, just that by itself, right? The fact that combat is 100% overhauled kind of puts us in a different lane. And it all just comes down to like, not everything we do is like super complex. Because some people, you can take it or leave it if they like the combat changes or the visuals or whatever. But it's not all like we are trying to destroy Pokemon and build a game that's like not even recognizable as Pokemon. The core stuff is still there underneath, just with some flair.
Good way of putting it.
And now we can get to some of these questions. and then I'll probably have to dip. So then when I am on my way, how they liked this stream so far and what they would like to see improved upon next time, besides obviously starting on time. Because I wish I had
Just
an
the
extra 30
technical
minutes that we
aspect,
didn't
my god.
lose.
What a disaster. I'm so upset.
I mean, I was originally thinking we'd do this one.
So strats equal lack of strat.
We can back in our server talk about if we want to do this somewhat more regularly or whatever, or at least give the people another stream down the road to make up for the fact that they lost an hour this time. At least for me, I don't know how long you guys will be here.
Or we could even like break this up and just like do a stream where we're actually focusing on the gameplay. And then another, because there have been a lot of questions here. Like I'm kind of surprised by the quantity here, and just do like an AMA and ask me anything sort of thing, where we can just answer these sorts of questions here. Because I just saw one with the like from Nuens. I don't know how to say that.
The Nooms. That's what I say.
Nooms. Nuems. Like when developing one, what was your biggest pain point? Sort of like these are questions, that you can kind of wax eloquent on for, minutes at like a long amount, close enough, long amount of time. It's just like, it's actually enjoyable while watching.
Yeah.
Oh, you were getting the shaft from Angel.
You know what? I don't care.
If you guys can at least get to Zeke before shutting off stream tonight, then next time we pick this up,
you think that's gonna are you joking?
We can go from Zeke to Elise whenever we pick this back up.
If you think either of those things will occur, the optimism is just like, this is the most optimistic I've ever seen you.
One of us might have to take this file between streams and get it up to Zeke then before next time.
Yeah, so off stream we did a little grinding.
All right, let's get to some of these questions before I do have to bounce. Where did we leave off? I see Sandy, not a question.
I saw the one with the biggest pain point, which we could. I can take that one, but was there another one before that we missed?
No, that one looks like the next
guys. If so yeah, biggest pain point I think was probably just like figuring out how to do everything. In terms of like balancing plot, weird bugs. Plot wasn't really the issue. We all kind of had we're actually pretty good with plots. And again, that's not to pat ourselves on the back, but we do have a strategy of, we know where we're starting, we know where we're ending, and it's just a matter of like, how do we want to get there? Yeah, but as long as you have a solid starting point, a solid ending point, filling in, it's just fun, right? You just get to say, okay, what if this happens? What if that happens? How do we want to incorporate this character or make sure this person's getting enough screen time? Because there are a lot of characters in Empire that we want to at least, have some introduction before, the crap hits the proverbial fan later on. But as far as pain point, I mean, it was really just, figuring out what we could all do, because one of the biggest constraints with RPG Maker is it's like you can't really effectively just like pick up the project with one person and then hand it off to the next person and let them.
Just like quick sharing and working on the same thing at the same
like
time
a Google Doc.
So fucking
you have to
bad.
like have a saved version and then have somebody else go pick it up and download it and then edit it and then get it back to the other person, who then by that point could have made their own changes, and then it's a mess. So it's really somebody has to, sit down and put all the crap in while everybody else like kind of feeds them the ideas and whatnot. So it was really just developing a system that worked. We all have our own lives that we, and responsibilities that we have to do. So this is just a fun hobby that we all happen to have that, some of us are able to commit, a certain amount of times to it, or a certain amount of time to it, different, different intervals. Things will come up, or we'll have work or just different interests going on. I mean, for me, it's like this is what I like to do as my hobby. But you'll have people like, Diaper or whatnot that'll take like a long break, and we don't know where everybody's always standing on things, but they're just a quick @ message away. But in episode 1, that was kind of the thing, because we didn't have like a lot of skin in the game yet. At this point for me, it's like, well, I've already made this much crap, I may as well keep going. sort of thing, or it's like you're in a relationship, right? It's well, I've been in this relationship long enough, may as well keep going, sort of thing. Where it's like you don't want to feel like you've just wasted a bunch of time making something or developing a relationship, sort of thing, and then just kind of drop it.
Sunk cost
You know what I
fallacy
mean?
at its
It's sunk
finest.
cost exactly. So that was kind of the thing there, where it's like, are we gonna do this? How are we gonna actually make this all come together? So eventually, I just had to sit down and say, okay, we're just gonna build this effing thing and see what happens. And there are gonna be a lot of hiccups along the way, but
I will say,
sometimes
I
we do.
distinctly remember that was my job.
What was it?
Stoic was the glue guy that said, "Listen, motherfucker,
I was
we gotta
like,
get this shit
that
together."
was my job.
And once we got, like, I think it's like once episode 1 was out, right? Like, we
Up like
haven't
a
looked back
steel guy and
since.
lose.
It was like the moment episode 1 got
Straight
out
up.
there, we were like off to the races.
Yeah, up towards the mountain entrance.
Anyways, there was the question about Cheyenne dying, and I'll give a quick story time on that. Then I'll probably have to leave off. There was a question about which ability that you buffed do you think was the most significant buff. That you can probably do that when I'm on my way out. But yes,
Sure.
Cheyenne. So that was a meme from like episode 1
Oh
where
my God,
Daipa
yeah. I
was
can't
like,
believe
"Hey
that.
guys, we know we're with Alana for episodes 1 and 2. We're gonna, we all planned, or we knew that we were gonna sideline Alana to go to Starlight before the player." And then episode 3 at first was kind of supposed to be a filler episode, but then we kind of actually used it as like the glue episode to start sowing a shit ton of seeds for the
Supposed
future.
to be filler. It was supposed to just be like you're literally laying low, like what
Yeah.
North you were supposed to do. Like we were actually gonna go do that, but then we didn't because we're a bunch of sadists over here.
Yep. And then so the thing Daipa said was like, well, people don't like Alana at this point in the game, so let's give them a lovable female lead
Oh man.
and then just take her away in one episode. And in comedic fashion of being stampeded. I think we were literally talking. Daipa was like, okay, so
we were
what if?
laughing uproariously, Lion King style.
Yeah.
We thought it was the greatest thing that anybody had ever
Yeah.
come up with. Like this is
Yeah.
going to be the biggest meme ever. But that's
And then
not. Yeah.
we broke
that's
hundreds
not
of
what
hearts.
happened. Like as we because then as you're like writing the episode and it's coming together, I think it was Communion of Minds was one of the people in the Discord that kind of laid everything out, like how Cheyenne came together as this character that was just impossible to dislike. I mean, just like all these different factors of just like timing and just the way that she wasn't self-confident or felt she was being misunderstood. Just everything just was perfect to make her so likable. And then by the time we got to like how we were going to depict the scene and everything, I was like, okay, let me just write this and see if something sticks. And I remember, Stoke, you're like, this was not the plan. Like, this is not how we were cooking this.
I think no, the thing that I said wasn't the plan, was being like, oh, and then we're gonna have it that the what was it, that the plan that whoever killed her made up, like the story was that you know what you're gonna do? We're gonna have them that they were like lovers or something.
Yeah,
It's like
because like no one would buy that.
It's like the wax scientist, and then she of course it's fake, but they're lovers. And then she was gonna meet him at the train station. They were gonna run off together. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then
because it's like from our perspective and the players, right? They like know that's bogus, but you can't assume the NPCs who don't really know what's going on would assume the same thing, right?
Yeah, it just kind of fit perfectly when you see it in action. But when you're like trying to describe it like that, it sounds so doofy.
See,
well, I know, because it's kind of like of course
Ned Stark.
It's gonna be different when you experience something versus when someone's telling it to you.
Yep.
So like when I had to leave because I was super busy with work during the development of episode 4. So I had to like leave for a little bit, and then I was like, all right. So I helped Casper lay the groundwork for the episode. I'm gonna come in and pretty much just have to, because I had written probably half of it, and Casper had written half of it. And so like, all right, I'm just gonna come in. We're gonna like go through all the kinks and stuff, and then we're gonna like we're gonna iron that out. We're gonna be fine. And then I go in, and it's kind of like y'all don't understand how in the beginning of the first episode of this entire project, we went into it, and Casper and I had spent probably at that point, at least personally together in a call over probably like 4 weeks, had been creating this entire script, and we had spent
I just wiped my butt with it.
we had
So
probably
can I
spent
jump in
12
real quick? I have 3 minutes left in here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, TLDR friends, this is like why it sucks at RPG Maker. You can't just all open it up at the same time and work on it, because when there are changes like that, Oct has to make the changes
Breached its
and then
defenses already.
show us. And then if it's completely different and Stoic blows his top, it's not necessarily anyone's fault. It's like a limitation of how RPG Maker works. But yeah, Cheyenne, RIP to her. And it's funny that she came out so likable when her regalia in game also makes
Yeah.
her likable. So like
Right.
you as the player and the audience, it was almost like a sixth sense, right? Like even though you're only playing the game, you feel like you're also tugged to the character through the screen. And with that, I leave you guys to get as far as you can.
Yeah.
Hope everyone
Well-
that was here had a great time, and we will try to not be 45 minutes late next time.
It was half an hour.
That'd be nice.
All right, good night, dude.
Yeah.
All right, we'll chill in here for a little bit longer.
I will say though, I'm going to finish what I was saying
Okay.
because what was it? So the first episode, and then Casper and I probably alone, like together, spent maybe about 10 or 12 hours combined. It wasn't in one sitting, in a call, writing this entire script. Be like, all right, Oct, you have the balance changes. This is the script.
Right.
Run with it. He's like, awesome. Sounds that's great. I'll have this done in like a week or two.
That's
Like,
the biggest dick of all time.
and then he's like, all right, guys, we're ready for alpha testing. It's really just you and me, and it's just the three of us doing alpha testing. We're like, you know what? That's okay. We'll work through it. And we'll see how it goes. And Casper and I got into the game. It was a different game. There was almost nothing that was in as the game you see currently, at least not visually, story wise. Nothing was the same. Everything was different. And we're just like, Oct, what did you do? And he's like, I took some creative liberties. Like, no. This is a different story
What
entirely.
did you do?
This isn't some creative liberties. You didn't say you didn't make this specific NPC actually nice and not a dick. You changed the story of the game.
Oh man.
And so that was a whole conversation
Yeah, that was it.
we had to politely discuss.
Yeah, I mean, to put a little bit of context, because you're mostly right. To put a little bit of context here, this was when, like Casper took a very long break,
Yeah.
and he had some stuff going on with his family at the time as well, which was
Right.
which was tough. But this is where you had your kind of like, okay, we just need to slap something together and do it. And so I
Because
I slapped something together and did it. It just
at that point we had been working together on this for almost 2 years.
Yeah, but
And
a lot of that time was not actually working on it. You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like a lot of like
It was-
Casper was gone for like 3-6 months at
Yeah,
a
it was
time. I was just
all
working.
of us being friends, pretty much.
Yeah,
which
it was just
fine.
kind of a place to hang out with
Yeah.
Empire's background noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once we actually hit the ground running,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, I was saying
Yeah.
like, and then eventually Casper went on his second hiatus, which was for life. There was no problem with that. We're like, you know
Yeah.
what? You do deal with your family stuff. You deal with your school. There's no problem with that. And he had probably been gone for about 6 or 7 months at that point, or maybe it was 5. I'm probably being a little hyperbolic with that one, but he was gone for a while, and so he came
Oh, you're
back.
still running around Polaris while you're talking.
He had come back, and he's like, "All right, guys, we can start getting this together because I'll have more time now." And he said that, and then again for about 2 weeks he was gone, probably because he was dealing with something else, which was no problem for us. But then at that point, I was like, "All right, guys, it's been like 2 years. We should probably make a product from what we did, from what we wanted to do." So, uh, eventually, because I pinged everyone and I was like, "Do y'all still want to go through with this project?" And they were like, "Yes, let's
Yeah.
make a product." And so within within like 2.5 months, we had a product.
Yep.
So
So we basically did like a like the usual design cycle,
yeah, pretty much.
because we had a lot of groundwork laid at that point. It just hadn't been built or built like in the way that you see now. You know, there were still a lot of bugs, and I mean, making the ice, like I needed Gron, you know, to teach me how to do everything, because you know I came into. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't have any coding experience, like none, like zero. So this is not like you know, something that I necessarily expect to be doing, like all these different coding changes. So I have Groniak to thank. You know, I'm indebted to him on that front. He still, you know, fixes some things that are too like that I don't know. Like if like there's still some bugs that neither of us know how to find. That are probably still pinned in, you know, bug fixing and whatnot. I mean, none of us are, you know, true masters here, but it's just something that we had like it was like in IKEA. Uh, it was like a Pokemon Empire IKEA edition where you have to bring home, you know, this beautiful cabinet that you can make. It's just like all the pieces are in the box. We just have to actually put the freaking thing together.
Right.
And we eventually did, but you know, at that point I was just like, F it, I'm gonna, you know, put this out, and then looks like it worked out in the end.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
remember what all the changes were from what you guys had originally written for episode 1 versus you know, because I mean, obviously we met more in the middle, sort of with the DLC.
Right. Right. I think I think a lot of the stuff that was changed was a lot of things involving the characters and how their personalities were, for one. Like you had, I think it was, you know, not to belittle you, but you probably used
You know, I don't care.
in your new version, you probably used every single cliche possible. And I was like, well, this person isn't, you know, this character isn't really a caricature. They're, you know, they're a living, breathing human being. And you're just like, dude, I like to fuck shit up with this character.
I'm sure that's exactly what I said.
No, no, no. I don't mean you. I mean like the character was like, I like to fuck shit up. And I was like, that's not how the character
Holy moly!
goes.
Well, I know Isaiah wasn't supposed to have like a receding hairline because it's based off of
Yeah, yeah, he was supposed to have like a hat on or something
Oh,
like
was
that.
he? Okay.
Yeah, he was supposed to be like, I think his original uh like inspiration for his sprite was Giovanni from Gen 4.
Oh yeah, I remember like
Yeah.
bees working on that.
Yeah.
It was awful. So I had to, you know, fix it. Like, remember his original Elise sprite with a face that looked like oatmeal?
I don't want to think about it, honestly.
Yeah. And then I came out with a new face. I mean, he did a great job with that dress. Don't get me wrong, but man, that face was oatmeal.
The the
Woof.
face was a little bit of a butterface.
Did you? Yes. That is correct. Yeah. Old Elise Butterface. Holy crap, man.
Trying to figure it out.
They these folks asked the favorite Pokemon
Like
up a
in
little bit.
general.
If you, yeah, it looks like there's just favorite Pokemon. This is for everyone.
Oh, okay.
People drop some stuff.
Yeah. I'd say my favorite Pokemon is Volcarona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like Hydreigon as well.
Yes, I also like Hydreigon a lot. Oh yeah.
And then is Gyarados in that? Or just like the Mega? I know you like the Mega.
It's in the club. It's in the club.
Yeah. Mine would actually be, you know, is kind of over like because it's a more popular one. Would actually probably be Garchomp because I've used it a lot back when I played a lot of competitive, and I just generally like attrition, like rough skin, and then the counterpart refraction and Empire, are just some of my favorite abilities because I really do love playing attrition, just as a play style. So rough skin, rocky helmet, you know, using endure as like a priority move to chip them even further with that. I really love, and I love land sharks in general. Like I used to play a lot of Rek'Sai in League for people that know that reference. So yeah, Sandy the Garchomp. Seriously, it's Garchomp? I don't believe it. But no, I typically like, you know, uh dark Pokemon, like evil types of Pokemon like Umbreon, Weavile, Yveltal, Trevenant. I love Curum as well. I just love the lore, like the emptiness of that, seeking truth and ideals. I love those types of concepts and just generally. So I love his little like baby arms and pressure stalling people with sub roost, and then
Yeah.
Empoleon would be my favorite starter. I think it's really one of the only starters that I really love. Absolutely adore Empoleon, even though I don't like the direction they took it for competitive. Like the thing should probably not be able to learn Stealth Rocks and probably should learn Roost, but yeah, so that'd kind of be my general list. There are a few cuties up. Like I love Chinchino too. I love those little scarves. A couple of cuties in there as well. But yeah, general like edge lord stuff for me. Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I do like my Garchomp, Sandy. Edgy boy. Yeah, you should see my. I'd love to do like a face reveal, so you can put a face to this. I feel like I still my hair still make me look like a teenager.
Still got that kind of like
That swoosh.
that swoosh that you had.
Yeah, I have like like longer hair for most
Yeah.
guys. I have a large forehead, which is generally why I do it. So there you go. Things you weren't expecting to catch on this random stream while Stoic runs aimlessly around Polaris.
I'm doing what I can.
That's freaking Quilladin Angel. Chestnuts roasting over an open fire. I think there's a thing for that. Hate its face. Oh man. Yeah, actually, Vetrix with a lot of Pokemon should not be able to stealth rocks. To be fair, that's actually something we are changing in Empire, and something we're actually going to comment on in episode 6. Spoilers: there's going to be an NPC that's writing I think a thesis even on how stealth rocks shape the metagame by being on a lot of ground and steel types, so you didn't actually have to use a rock type on your team. And then the rock typing of stealth rock served as a coverage move for what would then turn out to be a ground fighting and steel dominated metagame. So in Empire we have a lot of mods of those like ground and steel typings. I already mentioned Empoleon as one. There are going to be quite a few others that aren't going to have access to stealth rocks, but as you've seen, I'm sure already a lot more mods have access to spikes, which I think is just a generally more balanced. I see you caught a hoot hoot.
Oh yes.
Nice.
I needed something for
Hey, Pora.
I
don't
needed
know what
something
that is.
for what's it called? For Ezekiel. Because
Does
I
that
don't have anything
take
that
a
can hit him.
shadow sneak?
What?
Does that even take a shadow sneak? Part psychic.
Is it? I thought
Yeah.
I thought it was normal first and then evolved into psychic.
I'm pretty sure the Hoot Hoot's psychic too. Not that I, did that or anything, but let's go. We're in this. Yeah. Hey, you can always use Iggly. That doesn't.
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna evolve this, I guess. I'm gonna evolve that.
You're good, dude. I think we've kind of zoned out from the actual game section of the. If you
Yeah,
we have a fat ball of. Jeez.
a what?
I'm just reading some of these comments here.
Oh, okay.
It totally is logic for Blissey to pull out the Sneaky Pebble. Does Empoleon gotta get Roost though? No, it doesn't have to. This is something that Swamp King actually commented, and I always thought about it, because I've used Empoleon a lot in competitive as well. Ironic also that I gave it competitive instead of Defiant Empire because it's a special attacker. Anyways, but yeah, no, I mean it wouldn't have to have Roost, but it's a freaking penguin, and if you know what Emperor penguins do, like if they're young and the big the big circles that they form. If you've ever seen like March of the Penguins or anything, I think Roost is a pretty appropriate move for it to have. So, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up here in a few minutes. If you guys have any other questions you want to throw at us before we sign out, we'll have to. Again, this for us was more of a experimental thing. It sucks that we didn't have the whole piloting thing down here with the sound and everything, really sucking up time. We all have We all have day jobs. Stoke sometimes has night jobs as well. So we weren't, starting at 6, we weren't really able to, test things out super well. And obviously we had some issues. Hopefully we'll get that cleaned up here for you guys the next time. But we appreciate, everybody listening to us banter about inside info on the development process and just us bantering about it. Whatever you guys are asking and all that other nonsense. So feel free to drop anything else. Otherwise, we'll watch Stoke here for a few more minutes. Oh, thank you. Angel didn't like my voice. He doesn't want to go out with.
Where do I get the Voltorb again?
What?
What happened?
You just said it was a little. What did you say? A little younger than you were expecting. Because everybody calls me the old man on campus. But yeah.
That's because you're old.
Yeah, comparatively. I'm sure we probably have like some teenagers in the chat. But
I'm not 30.
No, I'm closer to 30 than I am to 20. So
yeah.
There you go. I attribute that in my wisdom. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, I'm. I have a tendency.
Wisdom in
I'm not gracious.
Things.
I'm not like.
Not.
No. I'm usually a little bit more blunt than I. Dude, there's a Pokeball on that table. Grab that crap, man. Wait, this is Swole Granny.
This is Swole Granny.
This is Swole Granny. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, and Nwems is getting up there too. Let's go. Yeah. No, I'm 27 actually, so I don't know if anybody has me beat there. I would be surprised if anybody is older that is in here. Okay, I'm surprised. Sandy, you're lying. You're lying. Nobody's 33. I don't believe it.
There is no one out there that is 33. Everyone just skips that age. Not a real thing.
That's beautiful.
I don't believe you.
That's so crazy. Like, there are people in here that are like born on the other side of 2000. Man, all that stuff that makes me feel old. Crazy.
So where do I get the Voltorb again?
Angel, you're only 20? You are so wise.
Whack.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Yeah, okay, we got a teenager. There we go. You have to expect that. Can you go in your favorite Origin Emporium there? We're really talking age. No, for real. You always have great, well thought out points, and you're not hesitant to say, and they were talking about philosophy earlier. We're like, yeah, I didn't really pay attention, in terms of philosophy. Yeah, brat. Exactly. That's what people usually say. I mean, I get that a lot. Like very defiant, right? Because I always questioned authority, no matter where it was, whether that was in high school, college, etc. my first jobs. Definitely didn't have any problems for questioning upper management.
Where do I get the Voltorb?
Oh, the Voltorb should be in the next to the ice factory on the right. Isn't that the Yawaki shop? The weapons shop. Yeah, that should be it.
Fuck.
The guy on the left. That's the RPG guy. You're already playing an RPG. Yeah, and for anybody who was asking about the questions earlier with like move descriptions with like milk drink and eat dirt and stuff, that is all me. I typically, if it's anything that's like dumb clever like that or like dad jokes, it's probably me, or like bad puns. There you go. I take full responsibility and credit for all of those things. Why are we calling Angel Dad? What?
Daddy.
Dad. Oh God. Yeah.
I might have started something.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not gonna end well. You got a red ball over there too, anyways.
I know. I'm thinking about a name.
Called Fossil. Yikes. Yeah, hopefully we're not all not all that old. I don't think I've ever really used an electrode before Stoic, so I don't have like. Sometimes I have nicknames at the ready
Yeah.
that I've used
Trying,
before.
trying to think.
That one's a little hard to be clever for because like poorly designed was such a nice pun. Like you could say like shockingly bad design, but then it's it's awful first of all, and then it's too long. So call Voltorb Daddy. There you go. Uh,
Got it.
oh my God, that was so good. How
Yeah.
do you come up with these things, man?
That's why I write this shit for you, but you don't listen to me.
Yeah, true. Hey, if you come up with that, I mean, you know I'm like sticking to that kind of crap. Fam
Uh-huh.
joules, measure of energy. That's so good. Beautiful. All right, dude. You want to about wrap it up here?
Oh, this is a glass cannon. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, what else is it supposed to be, right? It's not like anybody's using like Voltorb for their walling prowess.
This is very true.
Drop the ion deluge. Deluge. Blow yourself
Deluge.
up. Deluge. It's
Yeah.
a really fun word.
Ooh, that's a
You
good
should
one.
listen to him more before you lose him. Are we talking about Angel or Stoic?
Good point. You bring up good points.
Oh, that's good stuff. Yep, yep. No, and that's usually the gripe most people have with me is I basically say I'm gonna do things my way because I think they're the right way. And then if they turn out well, it's like, hey, I'm vindicated by it. But I should listen to people more, and, not just go with my own, not go with my own thing for the sake of that. But that's all of us. We're all trying to learn and grow and mature in every aspect. So Empire is
Of course.
another way to do that. Oh, Vetrix is like, don't get off. I got one more. Yeah, go for it, man.
All right. Give us one more. Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody else has anything, feel free to tag in. That would be me. That would be me. I created I created the concepts for all of them.
What?
The art is sometimes we take from different free sources. In a couple of cases, I've asked people for their sprites that they've used before. Inspired by real life events.
Yeah. It's Ox Fear of Clowns.
Is it even it really gives me like Alice in Wonderland vibes, but and I come up with pretty much all of the stuff for the fakey mons. Fakeamon, gotta make 'em all. Something about Brax sprites.
Yeah. Most of the Fakemon ideas are Ox ideas. Um, we'll get. I think we've maybe gotten one or two that have been not his ideas, and he said, "You
Mhm.
know what? That's a good idea. I'll write up an idea for that.
Mhm.
I'll write up a concept balance for that, and he'll do it. And like the PP people will pitch design ideas. Most of the Pokemon concepts are his, but one or two I think were pitched by some other of the people who help contribute creative ideas to
I
the
am
team.
playing it. Well, Spinda is a physical attacker, but does Bamboozle does it learn Tea Time on Evo? 'Cause that's a new move that I added because it does get some special moves later on. But yeah, there is like a kind of an awkward transitional period there for I think Bamboozle will come online a little bit later into the game. Like upon evolution, it's probably going to feel like maybe not as much of a spike as other evolutions. Oh, it gets Metronome on Evo. Okay, it gets. I know it gets Tea Time, and it probably can learn things like Round, for example, which you can get via TM. But yeah, Ectoplasm. It's a sweet move. Doesn't it have contrary as well with that? That was kind of the yeah, it might still be called Screaming Banshee Angel. I recently changed the name of Screaming Banshee to Ectoplasm because, you know, occasionally you think of like cooler sounding things for that. When did Bamboozle become a special attacker? Yeah, sometimes I
when
just
he
do things to
decided that.
screw with you guys, right? Yeah. Try attack at 47. You also make the movie Dirt. Yeah. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, most of those yeah, some of those moves do have pretty funny descriptions. But yeah, I do like to keep it light, you know, so usually a little too light. Stoic always you know, rags on me for fourth wall breaks and stuff, which he's right as well. Like actually have a tendency for, you know, serious and philosophical and, you know, put together as I probably come across. You know, I am actually, you know, pretty pretty punny, and yeah, I enjoy goofing around quite a lot. Throws a rock, duh. I mean, fair, right? I don't. What is milk drinks? I don't even remember that one. Say something about it being like nutritious or like. Oh, it's chocolate milk or something, right? Not chocolate flavored, sadly.
Yikes.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Funny, I actually don't even. I haven't had milk in the house in like forever. I'm slightly lactose intolerant, but I eat Greek yogurt all the time, or Roman yogurt, which is ice cream. That's a joke. I appreciate that. What was the other part of the question? Oh, with the fake one. Yeah, no, those are all. I mean, the general idea with a fake one is I don't just. Honestly, it kind of like peeves me when if you ever see people coming up with like fake mon for their games, it's just all so samey. It's like, here's my, you know, like they follow the Game Freak formula of here's my Route 1 normal, here's my Route 1 bug that's also bug flying, and here are my fire water grass starters that are 3 stage. And there's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. It's just like people, can we like have some originality at least with your, you know, with your ideas that you come up with? And they all make them based off of like, you know, whatever beasts or animals or whatever that they base things off of. And you know, we do that to some extent as well, but you know, there's a musk ox on the first route because there, you know, isn't a musk ox Pokemon or anything, you know, particularly similar to it. But you know, a lot of our fake mons are off of like kind of weird, like a druid, like Druidem is like the like a lot of human like fairy type of creatures, and you know, Nihilite, which is like this kind of like magician-y, like a kind of like Jack the Ripper kind of looking guy. Uh, and you have like what's the big dude, Four Giant, which before that had a Sprite Soak, you thought that was like, going to be like a grass ground type.
It was just me like not putting. It was me trying to
Yeah.
understand the naming like way it was going because I for some reason was like, oh, this is a giant. So you think of like
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah,
from
like Lord
from
of the
like
Rings or something.
yeah, it's like
Or
from
like,
Lord of the
yeah,
Rings. So
Shadow of the
it's like
Colossus even.
yeah, so it's kind of like has like stuff with like the earth.
Yeah,
And then I
yeah.
saw forge, and I was like, that means like forage, like you're foraging. It's a giant.
Mmm.
So I was like, oh, this thing's
Smart.
like a sick ass ground grass thing. And then I was using
Mm.
shit on it, and I was like, this isn't very effective. And I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on?
What? I thought my ice attack would kill this.
And then because at that point I was still on my Mac, you were like, just check the PBS. I was like, I can't check the PBS. Just tell me what's typing is. You're like, oh, right.
Oh,
Well, it's
Fire
this.
Steel. What?
It's Fire Steel. I was like, oh my fucking god.
Like
Of course it is.
forge. Yes.
Yeah,
Like
Forge.
a literal
It's a
forge.
Forge, and it's a giant.
I get it now.
I get it now. Finally.
Yeah,
And I was
but
like, all right, now use one water attack on it, and it dies. I'm just like, that could have been solved like that.
there you go. That simple. Or ground. But yeah, Magnet Rise, as Ray is pointing out. But yeah, make it eat dirt. But you know, even like some of the other concepts that you see with like you know, clay kata, you know, it's like a terracotta soldier. The main idea is you try and take. I think what a lot of people do when they create their own ideas for these sorts of things is they start with the theme, and then they just kind of like that's like they have this like sprite idea, and that's what matters most. And that's the case with all of Empires. Actually, our aesthetics are very much secondary, which isn't to say they're not important. We think that we want to make things look reasonable at the very least. We don't want things to be hideous, but just base things off of the actual meat first, like what this mon actually does. What is the unique niche that it fills through this fake mon that nothing else fills that's already in the game, that makes it special, that gives it its own thing. Like Boreaptor. Like what in the world acts like that in Velocicle? Like it's like it. No, you can't say so unique. I mean, it's like because unique is it's either you're unique or you're not. There's not degrees of uniqueness. But yeah, Swashlocker though. There you go. Like there, it's just like there are all these totally weird or just unused or underutilized type combinations. Or they're mons like Muscoat or Mustox, which fill a specific role in like weather, for example. Like we have things that are good.
Yes.
Look at that raccoon. Holy moly. Um, Mustox, which is like this ground poison type, but it fits perfectly into hail. It resists like the rock and fighting moves that come at those ice types, and then the ice types resist the water and ice attacks that come at Mustox, and then it sets up hazards, of multiple types. I think it gets spikes and T spikes. And it has, in its spin, spin away rocks that its, ice type teammates might be weak against. But when I'm thinking of these fake mons, it's not like I'm just coming up with like a sprite for like a terracotta